Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to the Chronically Online podcast with Neave.
Hi.
I feel like you're a series regular now, so I don't even have to really introduce you. How many, is this our third episode?
Yeah, that one.
People loved when we did that the last part, by the
I
way.
loved the edit so much. I watched it like 17 times.
So, welcome back. Today, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of hot topics. We have a lot of updates with us. The first thing to open with is last week's episode not only got me in so much drama for so many different reasons, but we were so messy in that episode.
So messy. I'd work the next day.
The thing was, we were like, for this to be as authentic, first of all, love the top. She shows up today with an I Heart Gossip top, and she had showed up last week with
I Hot Muckers.
love. So pressure is
Who am I going to love next week?
So last week I was like, Neave, for this to be as authentic as possible to what we do, we need wine involved.
Of course.
The problem was last week, and Leia was not here today. Neve's girlfriend is not here. I think she didn't want to sit in for the like literally we were filming for, what time did you leave?
I left at 2 a.m.
My apartment at 2 a.m. and I'm pretty sure you came over at like 8 or 9.
Yeah, 8 o'clock I came over.
So the reason for that was because we kept, for some reason, being like, let's take like breaks halfway through. Like it would cut and we would like sit and talk here for an hour or something like that. We were so drunk. I think we had like 3 glasses before we even started filming. And then for some reason, about like 20 minutes into the episode,
Gone.
It all hit me, mama.
Oof.
But anyways, so
Sorry, I went into work the next day with my makeup smeared all over my face.
Do you have any
I
of it,
do,
please?
I do.
I'm gonna talk while you do that. So obviously I didn't have to go into work the next day, but Neave did. And the thing was, we were supposed to finish filming way before we did. And Leia was like, Neave, like we need to go, like you have work. And you had to open the cafe at what time?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. dude. Ooh. Ooh. This is what Neave looked like. Ooh.
Customers, also nobody told me I had it on my face until 8:30. So for an hour and a half.
You went into work? Like I thought this was before you went into work.
This was me in the work toilet. I thought I'd taken all my makeup off.
You look like the night after Halloween when you have like face paint.
People thought I was dressed as a skeleton.
Sorry, the darkness around your eyes is... I thought this was in your bathroom at your house.
No, this is work toilet. And the person came in that starts at 8:30 and she was like, Neave, what have you done? And I was like, what?
The caption is, been like this for twin mins. Gonna try and scrub it off with water now. Did you eventually get it off?
Yeah, I had to use hot water.
You look like a ghost.
I look
a ghost, mama. So this is what the podcast did to Neave last week. But the thing was with last week, we literally looked at it like a kiki.
Yeah, it was just a catch up.
And what people don't know is, I think it was like nearly 3 hours that was posted.
Yeah.
We filmed for about 4.5. And for some reason, at about 2 hours into it, we just went, like, guard was off and we were naming.
We honestly, full like first and last names.
And I had to cut so much out of it.
So
today we're on our best behavior. And while the glass is still this full, this is our first glass. So cheers. And again, so much to catch up on. There's a lot of drama that I want to get Neve's opinion on. But first, I want to talk about the fact that we have had the most... We've been friends for a while, but the single most... First of all, here's Neve's social medias. Go and follow. Forgot to do that at the start. She's on TikTok. She's on Instagram. So here's her TikTok. What's the at?
Neave Barnard.
Here's her Instagram.
Neave Iona.
And then this is her club night in Brighton.
Crush.btn.
Love. So we have been friends for a while, but I think this was the single most exhausting time period.
And the most, like, there was no breaks of each other either.
I don't even know why we did it. No, I know. So when did it start?
Saturday.
It started on Saturday. Yeah, morning.
Yeah.
And I don't like doing things during the fucking morning. But it started during Saturday morning when we had agreed in advance to go to Grace Helbig and Mamrie Hart's show. The problem is the show was a matinee show for some fucking reason. And even they made reference to it. They were like, hey, babe, like, we're performing for you guys at like 3 p.m. Like, hope the vibes are great. And to be fair, like, the crowd needed a little bit of waking up. But when they woke up, they were so much fun.
Great, yeah.
And I had went to the show a couple days before and met Grace and Mamrie. And then we went on the Saturday and we went to the meet and greet. And one of the reasons we went to the meet and greet as well was because Grace and Mamrie were so kind, and they were like, if you want to come backstage again. But I'd already done that, and I was with Neave, so I wasn't just like standing on my own. I wanted to do the meet and greet because I wanted to see, I haven't done a meet and greet in so long that I wanted to see how the meet and greet format was, because I mean, I'm going on tour and doing meet and greets. So I wanted to see like how they operate, how they whatever. And let me tell you something, muckers. Meet and greets are stressful. Like, even I was stressed, and like I know and met
We were
these
literally
people.
so concerned for everyone in the crowd.
So I'm gonna put my all into the meet and greets
Kim
that
was
we
on
do.
it.
Yeah, they had Kim. Shout out Kim.
She was so good at her job.
She was rattling through those people and making sure, pose for the camera, babe, pose. They would be like opening up and crying, and they pose for the camera, babe. Kim, babe, there's a slot open if you want to come
Are
on
you free
to-"
next year?
But anyways, I'm really glad that we did it, even though it took a while. But obviously there's a lot of people, because it has kind of let me know what I would like to do or not do on my meet and greet. And I'm very excited to meet everyone. And also, I'm announcing London and Dublin dates, and you're going to be at the London. Well, you fucking better be at the London
I'll
show.
be front row.
And I was saying, I hope people recognize Neave in the crowd, because Neave's going to be going with our entire friend group. And I just think it would be really funny, like, if the friend group continuously gets holed up with people being like, Neave from the podcast. So anyways, we went to the show on Saturday. Again, I don't like doing things during the daytime, and I was in the worst ever.
Spirits were low when I met Adam at the train station.
Yours were low too.
Well, you missed the first 2 trains, can I add? And so I had been ready for about 2 hours by the time Adam showed up.
I don't like doing things during the daytime. But we went to London. First of all, like, the train was the busiest train to London that there has ever been. And we just were like kind of silent when we arrived in London. Like, we just needed a moment. It was still really early. I was wearing sunglasses. Like, it was not the vibe. We just needed a little bit of peace and quiet. It was really stressful because we were about to miss the opening of the show. Tell me why we get off at the station. There's a full fucking band playing the loudest
12-year-olds as well, like playing the most awful, like, pop Brit
It was crazy. We went to the theater. We made it just in time, which is great.
We did.
And so we have not talked about this off camera because we went to it and then we immediately went to Paris, which we're going to talk about. But I would love to know your opinion of the show. I had interviewed Grace Helbig on the podcast, and you were in LA whenever I did that. So I was like really nervous and I'm so glad that I didn't see their show before that, because I think I would have been even more nervous.
Like seeing how funny they were.
When I sat in the crowd, it felt like I was like back in like peak YouTube time of like, I'm a VidCon.
No, genuinely.
I was like fangirling. What was your opinion going into the show? Because I know you're removed from the YouTube world, but you did used to watch.
I was gonna say they're one of the 2 people I actually grew up watching. So I haven't seen their content since I was probably 14. So I was really excited to see what they were gonna do, and they made me laugh the entire time. Like, I didn't stop laughing.
They were so funny. So I watched the podcast on and off, and let me tell you something. I've watched about 10 episodes since that, and I keep texting you being like, Neave, this podcast is so funny. So they came out and they were like, hey, this is not going to be like a podcast. We're going to do like stand-up and stuff. It takes a lot to make me laugh. They were funny. They had their own bits. First of all, I'd already seen Grace, and I'd said to you that I think Grace Helbig is so beautiful. I've never met Mamrie Hart before. She is one of the most stunning people I've ever seen.
Every time there was a silence, we're like, she's so pretty.
She was like, and I don't know why I hadn't like factored in this, because like she looks very similar how she looks in her videos, but damn, I don't like
skin is gorgeous.
Like her aura mama as well. Like she just like comes across so lovely, and she was so funny during the show. And if anyone ever gets a chance to go to Grace or Mamrie's show, so great. And then we went to the meet and greet, and I was a little bit nervous for the meet and greet because I get very overwhelmed, which is why I'm trying to do little things for my one to kind of eliminate that for also me and for people to have it as casual as possible, which is why I've kind of implemented I think it's a thing for like VIPs where like we hang out in advance and stuff like that, just so I'm like kind of warmed up to it.
That's nice.
I was nervous to do the meet and greet because I just find them stressful and I never know what to say, and I blah 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 blah. We line up and we do the meet and greet, and I was also nervous because you were there with me as well, and I didn't know what you were gonna say to them either. They were so I had my own conversation when I went out, and don't worry, Kim was locked in.
Pictures of it all.
Kim comes up to me and goes, "Don't take long," and I go, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I was terrified of her, but she was like a girl boss. And again, Kim, if you have any availability next year. I was having my own conversation with Grace and Mamrie and like one-on-one. And then you were having yours as well. And we talked about it after. What was that like for you?
I loved it. It was so, because obviously they knew who you were previously, so I didn't expect them to chat to me too much because obviously you had things to catch up on. They both gave me so much time. It was so lovely, and they were like, thank you so much for coming. Grace like knew my name because obviously you were the one that said like me and Neave are coming to my show. She was like, thank you for buying tickets, Neave. I was like, oh,
I'm gonna load up a photo from
the photo is so
from
funny.
the meet and greet. So during the meet and greet, obviously I was focused on like really catching up with like Grace and Mamrie and blah blah, and Neave was having her own conversation. So I completely forgot at a certain stage that Kim was taking photos. And then I find this photo.
I literally
and I'm gonna zoom in on both of us. So this is me and Grace hugging, just
normal
like a
hug.
little casual like catch up hug and stuff. And then you go over.
The embrace.
Neave and Mamrie are in a warm embrace, like a warm embrace. And
We're old friends catching up in this.
the photo side by side is so funny, but they were so sweet. And the first thing you said to me was that Grace had mentioned about because you had gotten the tickets, and I'd said this to Grace, whatever. But also like, while like me, Grace, and Mamrie have like things to relate on, and I interviewed Grace and stuff like that, they were so sweet to you as well. Love. So yeah, they were really funny. I didn't know what to expect going into it, and I know people are also gonna not know what to expect going into my show, so I felt like an audience member. But I was so impressed by their show. I thought I literally felt like I was back in like 2014
It
YouTube.
literally felt like we were watching a YouTube video, but even funnier.
Which I don't want that to say disrespectful because they're still funny now. But obviously like I know them from that era and stuff. Oh my God, they were. And yeah, the meet and greet was super fun. And then after that, we went to dinner, but we were so tired at dinner. And then we ultimately just went home because was Paris the next day?
It was. And it was a 4 a.m. start.
But also our friends were like, we've got a club night for you.
They were like,
Baby,
we'll
we're
see
waking
you
up
there.
at 4. So we woke up at 4 the next. So that was Saturday. We wake up at 4 the next day because we have to get a train to London and then a train to Paris. And now I had done this on Monday. So I had done this journey twice in 1 week. And let me tell you something, it is really exhausting. And I was really intrigued to hear your take on it because it is quite exhausting. So we get the train to Paris. And first of all, I would love to hear your experience on the Eurostar because I know a lot of people are really interested in the fact that you can literally just get a train from like London to Paris. How was that for you? You were really excited about it.
I was going to say, I was not conscious.
Oh yeah, Mama was out of it.
I slept. Every mode of public transport we did that day, I was knocked out, and I apologize because I wasn't good company.
It was great. We talked in the in between bits.
I think I was conscious of it for a total of 20 minutes.
That's
so
fair.
those 20 minutes were lovely, so fun.
And then we arrived, and again we got in at 11:30.
Yeah.
And then we were getting a 7:55 one back, and I was like, I didn't even know if it was possible because whenever I did this on Monday.
Did you do it on Monday?
So the problem was, I really did think I was going to do it.
Yeah, I believed you for a bit.
I was on an all-nighter, and I was like, I'm going to go to Paris, I'm going to vlog the day, and I'm going to do this challenge of like, how much can you do in a day? Literally what me and Neave did. We did that successfully. I didn't do it successfully. So I basically did what we did all day. And then I met up with my friend Louise for wine. And that was, and I mean, I've like vlogged this, so like people who've watched my second channel know, but one thing led to another, and I'm in Paris until the next day. And you had told me a story where I said that I had booked a 7 a.m. flight, and I had all intentions of getting it. I paid for it, whatever. I get back to my hotel, black out, fall asleep. I wake up the next day at like midday, and I get my train home at like 2 or whatever like that. But you told me a really funny story.
I started work at 7 a.m. So I was like, okay, he's got that flight at 7. I look at my phone. He's still in Paris. I go, okay, maybe he's like moved it to a later
because
flight.
Leo's dog sitting.
Yeah, so she's here. She's texting me like, hey, is Adam awake yet? I check my location, his location again. It's 8 a.m. He's still in Paris. 9 a.m. still in Paris. 11. And also, you'll see when someone's active because they'll have like moved around the hotel room. Oh, he was stationary. And I was like, okay, I have a feeling Paris is going to be extended to a 2-day trip.
So I inevitably come home and it was brutal. I slept so long and I had to say, I have to do this again this week. So we did it, but we did it successfully.
We did.
So if we look at that day, what did we do? So we arrived at 11:30. By the way, it was exhausting, but the timing was perfect.
Perfect.
And we Ubered everywhere. So we got like a lot done in a quicker space.
Yeah.
So this is a little gluten-free queen. Therefore, I was a little bit concerned because Paris is very much so about bread. And so I was researching on the train while Diva was sleeping about all the gluten-free places. And I saw this article and it was like, Paris is the single worst place in the world for gluten-free.
Not true.
If there's anyone out there that is gluten-free, let me tell you
Paris.
something that surprisingly, Paris is probably the best place that I've gone.
Me too.
And I'm not even gluten-free.
It's better than LA. And everyone said to me, LA is going to be so gluten-free. Paris was better.
So there was specific gluten-free bakeries. And don't worry, me and Neave went to 2 of them within 10 minutes. We got our food, finished it on the street, immediately went to the other one. And because I hate gluten-free. Like it doesn't. The ones you've given me in the past have not tasted good.
I agree.
The ones in Paris, Mama,
amazing. Like,
and then we went to, was it a restaurant or something like that? Oh, we went to
cheese and wine.
Oh,
how could you forget cheese?
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead here. No, because we wanted to go to a cat. I wanted to go to a cat cafe because this cat sits at the piano and I love it. I Uber us there. First of all, longest Uber ever. So I was really disappointed when we couldn't go in.
40 minutes.
Too many kids in there, every table. And I was like, fuck. So we go to the cafe across the street. So many seats available, by the way. And the diva goes, bonjour. What? Food, drink. And I go, food. Because if you say food, then they definitely want you because you spend more money. She goes, okay. Walks away for a bit. There's so many seats. And by the way, outside, so many seats. And she goes back and she goes, not any available. By the way, seats the person behind us.
No, the man behind us, she goes, come through. And I'm like,
I was fuming. So we literally just wanted a coffee. So I'm like, fuck it. We'll find a cafe and go get coffee. Walk across the street and you go, Adam, it says charcuterie.
And it said coffee on the thing as well.
So I was like, perfect. There was another place. So we're like, all right, fab. We go in. Automatically the vibes are a little bit
The vibes
weird.
are crazy.
It's like so silent, kind of looks like a library, but has a big kitchen in the middle of it. And there's probably 2 tables who are having bread and tea.
But also pasta.
So I'm like, okay. And we were too deep in it because there's not that many people. You were immediately noticed when you walked in. And she goes like, bonjour. And I'm like, hey. And she goes, what do you want? And I go, charcuterie, cheese. And she goes, cheese and wine. And I go, cheese. Sure. She goes, brunch. And I go, no, like cheese. Cheese and wine. She sits us down and she goes, pick your wine. And I start panicking. And I'm like, fuck.
You sent me up there as if I know anything about cheese and wine.
There was first of all, there's no fucking charcuterie. There was
a whole fridge of cheese though.
There was cheese and there was wine. And so I was all to Neave. I was like, I'm too scared to leave now. Like, I feel like I'm locked
we were in so deep.
So we pick our cheese, we pick our wine, and it's about 1 p.m.
Sorry, she said to us, she was like, I can't pick for you. You must choose.
Oh, she fucking pissed me off.
I picked a bottle of wine and she goes, that won't go well with cheese. Pick a new one. I thought, I'm going to cry.
Because there was like, it was a wall of wine. So I said to Neave, I don't want to drink right now. Neave didn't want to drink. I was like, let's go for the smallest bottle. So I was like, can you pick one for us, to the woman? Like, what will go well with the cheese we fucking selected? And I was like, Neave, pick a cheese. And she was like, oh, that one.
It was great cheese to that.
And so I'm like, Neave, that one's the smallest bottle. Let's pick this one. We pick it. And she goes, no, it won't work. And I'm like, okay, which one do you recommend? By the way, it was the most expensive one.
Of course it was.
And
of course it was.
Biggest bottle ever. And I sit down and like, we were there for way longer than I ever wanted to be.
Like 2 hours, I feel.
Because we were trying to get through this bottle because I was like, right, I've now paid for this. And the cheese was also, I mean, I love Parisian cheese. By the way, they gave us bread, not gluten-free.
Can't eat that. So I was just eating hunks of cheese.
Because obviously we didn't expect to be there. But it was the craziest, weirdest vibes. And let me tell you something. The more wine we drank, the louder we got, mama. Like, when we went in there, it was so quiet. Like, the tables were like, so quiet. And we were so quiet when we went in there. Let me tell you something. At a certain stage, the mamas just went lit. Like, I mean, we were fucking crying, laughing at shit. We were talking so loudly and stuff like this. And everyone around us was so like
Yeah.
it was literally like tea and stuff like that. But then we finally left there.
We did.
We left there. We did like markets, and Neave saw like Sacré-Cœur and all the like love chains and stuff like that. And then we went to a gluten-free place for dinner, which was lovely. And then to kind of cut the journey short, we ended up eventually getting our train and getting back, and it was the longest journey home. But was it your first time in Paris?
Yeah.
Okay. We already know my favorite city in the entire world.
Yeah.
And you've been told by people that it's not the greatest place in the entire
Yes.
world for different reasons. What was your take? Because I know that you had a lot of people kind of telling you no, 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 and I was like, yes, yes, yes. Feel like the ice cream good. Yes, yes, yes. What was your take on Paris?
I loved it, and I would definitely go again. I think it was such a beautiful city.
Christmas time too.
Yeah, I think that did definitely help that it was Christmassy, because we went to the Christmas market and went on the Ferris wheel. But I'd love to go for longer and like explore more. I really enjoyed it.
We did a lot in that day as well, but it was so much fun. I also love that Neave got to see how I like interact with Ubers.
I was every single like Uber, and also Adam knows like very, I'd say, basic conversational French. Like you can get by with it, but then they would talk, like they would continue the conversation with him in French. And what would you always say? Every single thing was. What was it? What would you say to every single person?
I don't know.
What's the
Oh,
French?
I would go, ça va?
No.
Wait. So here's how I would go. I would get in the Uber and I'd go,
Merci beaucoup. Every single thing. Even if they were like trying to start a conversation. Merci beaucoup. That's all you. And one Uber, you said it. I counted 12 times. It was a 5-minute Uber. And you got out and he was actually like silently laughing.
because for some, like after the wine and cheese, I was a little bit tipsy. And for some reason, he drove us to the Christmas markets, and for some reason in that moment he was like, is here fine? And I went, voila, ooh la la. For like no reason at all. And I like get out of the car and you're like, get out of the
I'm
fucking
like, get
car.
out.
And I turn around and he's laughing.
No, he loved it.
But I'm glad that you enjoyed Paris. I would love to go back. And also, now that I know that while it is incredibly exhausting, we were able to do it within a day.
Exactly.
Also, if we planned a weekend better where we weren't just doing everything like boom, 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 I think we could do it again successfully.
I agree.
So that was our little weekend. It was very exhausting. And this is our first time seeing each other since, because Mama, we need a little bit of distance.
A break from each other.
That was a
I had
very...
to clock in to my actual job.
And I can't believe that you went... So we got back at like midnight to Brighton, and then you opened at 7?
I had to get up at 6. Yeah, open at 7.
Ooh, I slept until 3 the next day, Mama.
It was so worth it. I was so delirious. I was telling all my customers that I was in Paris yesterday, and all of them were going bonjour. So
dear God. Okay, so now I want to move on. Oh, I know what we should do. I have an apology for you, DefNoodles.
Oh.
And I know that Neave doesn't watch my videos, but I've told her about this. One of the many controversies that arose from our
Obviously.
last episode, really starting off strong here. About to leave me fucking
sorry.
hanging. I want to read you out Dennis's message.
Okay.
He responded to the podcast, and within it there is a message to you, and I just want to get your take on it. So basically, in the podcast, I said that Dennis was making videos on me when I was recording the podcast.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, that is not true. He made them like a week before,
Exactly.
or something like
so
that.
So much better.
So I made a video, and I was like DefNoodles. I read out his message, and I was like, okay, I messed up. He wasn't making them on me in the moment, and I know that could impact his company, and I'm so sorry. I was under the impression, and had been told by people, that he was no longer doing DefNoodles, no longer making videos. So it was shocking to me in general that he was making videos of me in 2024,
Yeah.
at least, whenever I was doing this, because I thought that he doesn't do that anymore. And then it was even more shocking that it was a week or two before I was doing the thing. So while I apologize and blah, 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 the shock is still there,
Yeah,
Mama.
it's
And
still quite a...
You know how fucking much it pissed me off in
Yeah.
LA. But that being said, here is his message, and you come up in it, so I just want to read it to you. I love how he spells your name.
Oh, love. He tried so hard.
So I'm going to read you out the entire thing. Hey, Adam. Hope you're doing well. I watched your video, and there's a couple things I would like to share with you and clarify. First off, I'd like to apologize to your friend Neave.
We're on nickname basis.
That's just how you call
What's his name? Thanks, Denny.
My favorite moment. We're so drunk in the last thing, and she goes, "He's well fit," or whatever you say.
So fit. And I go, what?
I would, first of all, I mean, to be fair, it's Nieve. I was just being dramatic.
That is a way to spell it.
Yeah, I was just being dramatic there. I'd like to apologize to your friend Neave if that's how she perceived.
Fucking hell.
From the top. I don't want another controversy. I'm going to be so nice here. First off, I'd like to apologize to your friend Neave if that's how she perceived our interaction. Personally, I remember saying hi to her. Stop. I try to say hi and be welcoming to everyone. But if that's how she remembers it... Sorry. Wait, when I reacted to this in my video, I swear this was a lot nicer.
And if she said so, then fine.
I don't know if it's just because you're like here with me and I'm reading it to you that this is coming across worse than how... I swear to God, when I first read this, I was like, oh, he apologized to Neave. Now I'm like, whoa. Sorry, from the top. First off, I'd like to apologize to your friend Neave if that's how she perceived the interaction. Personally, I remember saying hi to her. I try and say hi to everyone and be welcome to others, but if that's how she remembers it, then I apologize. That's actually
That's crazy.
That's actually so fucking rude.
That's
Dennis, I'm pretty sure I was like defending you from that part or whatever. That's actually I think I was stressed out about the fact that the episode gave so much drama. That's actually like I'm so sorry you were offended.
I don't know if you feel that way, but I don't. But sorry.
So I guess now that everything has been fucking opened up anyway, what is your anyways? And then he talks about that it was like weeks before, like 2 weeks before he was making the episodes. Blah blah. I already made a video on that. So from that section where he's saying he remembers saying hi to you, he is welcoming to others, but if that's how you remember it, then I remember. Now that we can actually talk about it, what was your take on that? And I'm gonna let you talk. So you fucking people who call me nasty and stuff like that, it's on her, right? I'm just gonna sit back. Now that he's saying that what you said isn't true, but if that's how you're delusional fucking stupid ass brain.
Obviously.
So,
why would I lie? What gain would I have from lying? I didn't know. He didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was. I was just a person having a conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like I was told to be on my best behavior, and I was on my best behavior. I was ready to be so like, hiya, thank you so much for having us. He literally, and I remember so vividly, this is when, because I was like, oh, it's fine. He's probably stressed at the beginning of the session. But at the end of the session, he was sat in that room and didn't come out and like say anything or goodbye or anything. Like he just sat there. And I thought, no worries, mate. See you later. Like, that is how I remember actually.
Well, what I can say, and I'm treading very lightly here because I'm trying to avoid another fucking scandal.
But also, I don't care. You're fine.
Someone who's like in the game, someone who's not in the game of like getting backlash. What was a general, and I'm going to let you say it so you take the fall. What was a general, and we haven't talked about this, what was a general consensus that every time I would come back and have filmed a podcast that, because after we had filmed a podcast, I would go outside with said person. I remember me and Lauren Gray were like sitting in the bushes for some reason. Me and Rachel Levin's RCL, she was like hovered over in her crutches, like God bless her. Me and Grace Helbig went around the side. Filmed a TikTok. Me and Carly were sitting talking, filming a TikTok. What was something that I came back, and I'm not going to look at her so that you know this is real. What was something that every podcast I would come back and say that after the conversation the guest would say?
That he wasn't very chatty and he wasn't very, clocked on to his job.
So to clarify on that before he comes to me again, he was great at his job. Me and you having
he was editing very well.
Yeah, me and you having a conversation that he wasn't personable, and he says to me something along the lines of, he says, I'm often focused on having everything ready for them and staying out of their way to prepare for the session. Everyone has their own recording process, and some folks may get nervous before recording. So I often, meanwhile, me shaking hungover that day. So I like to stay out of their way so I don't add any nervousness people may have. Once again, I apologize to her. It's not my intention. So I think that ending part is really good, what he said. And I think it adds up because, yes, after filming, most people would ask me, does Dennis hate me? I'm not kidding.
Or like, is he okay? Does he know about, like, does he think I'm going to say something? Or there would always be a sort of like, oh, did I do something? Has he seen videos or something like that?
There was at least the only person, if I'm being honest, that I think didn't pick up on it was Cosmo, Queen of Melrose, because that diva's in her own world always. But I think at least every single person or most people had said to me, is everything okay? And that's why whenever I discovered the videos that were being made beforehand at a previous date, to clarify, I went in every day thinking that Dennis hated me.
Yeah.
Because my guests were picking up on it.
Yeah, then that's crazy that other people, because you were going in there so professional, and you would always be so like the same, no matter who the guest was, no matter what the day was. You'd be like, hiya, this is the studio, like whatever. You'd be so on it. So the fact that other people were picking up on it shows it wasn't you at all.
So I just want to clarify again. Dennis, I've met him before and he is shy. Fact. I understand now that his reasoning for being like that is he wants to allow people space. Fact, and that's fine. The reason for us saying the story was just because at that stage of us telling it, it literally came across like he fucking hated us.
Yeah.
And he didn't want anything to do with us.
Yeah.
He was great at his job, would recommend the studio. Like I said, I recommended it to Queen of Melrose.
It was a
like,
gorgeous studio.
So, okay, we've already bigged up it. We don't need to big it up anymore.
It was really fit.
We're not sponsored anymore. It was so sexy, according to Neave. So anyways, have that apology that I want to tell you. Next thing I want to go on to is maybe I'll do the Rosanna thing, or maybe I'll do Elphaba first. Which one should I do first? Which one would you want to do first? It's totally up to you because they can both go either way.
Let's do Elphaba.
Okay, so Elphaba is a creator. We're not talking about Wicked here, even though our Wicked mics. Yes. Elphaba is a UK creator. I've actually made videos on her before. She is one of the most controversial people in the UK, I would say.
Yeah.
And we're going to pull up videos in a second, and we're really getting into our hot topics now. But very controversial, a lot of scandals, a lot of people, like a dedicated hate following.
Yeah.
Dedicated hate following. Is someone in the UK that kind of lives off of, with so much love, like attention, live streams, constantly posting their life. And
everything's online.
She gets in a lot of drama with Chelsea Lee Art. What's the other one called? There was a video of them like walking the streets of Manchester. My mom will know. Blonde hair, reacts to, whatever. There's a bunch of them, right? And they all get involved in a lot of drama. Now, we're going to talk about a scandal that's happening. And if you know, you know. But even if you don't know, this next part will be in some way entertaining. So, Elphaba, it's Elphaba Ryan Doherty, isn't it? I think it's a full name. Sorry, I think that's her full name. Has had in-person interactions with her, and people don't know it. And I know that one of the most requested things I get is people being like, Adam, can you make videos on Elphaba? But I just really don't cover UK drama, but I did at one stage. When I moved to Manchester, the beacon of evil. And by the way, whenever I announced that I was doing UK tour dates, people were like, Manchester? as fucking if. By the way, a year since.
Hey, and what a year it's been.
It's been a beautiful year.
Yeah.
It's been a year since I met Manchester boy.
Yeah. Such growth.
He's been posting his girlfriend all the time. Because we still follow each other and fuck
See,
with
growth?
each other like that. Anyways, so Manchester era was officially a year ago. And one of my breaking points in Manchester was that I would go out all the time and Elphaba would be there. And now, I don't mean this in a rude way, but what I mean it in is people would constantly be recording, people would constantly be live streaming, and there is a tendency to kind of get caught up in the drama. And I was so involved in, because Colleen had just came back to the internet, I was so involved in drama online already that I was like, oh, I can't even escape it on a fucking night out. So I would go to Canal Street, which is like the gay district in Manchester, and I think Elphaba had just moved there, and she was going out all the time. And the people that I was friends with really, really, really loved the fact that like Elphaba was known on TikTok. Therefore, they would like keep inviting her out with us. And my full thing was I can like, even if someone's involved with drama, like I can just respect them from a side and not want to be involved. But ultimately, I ended up getting involved with Elphaba because, you know, my friends kept bringing her around and she was out so often and stuff like that. And what I will say is every interaction I have ever had with Elphaba has been lovely and she's been very kind. That does not take away from things that she has done or things that people will call her out for. And and I very much so disagree with a lot of things that she does online. I also think there's a lot of people that are dedicated hate following and will find things either way. But I just wanted to be so far removed from it. And I remember calling Neave and being like, I need to get out of here. I'm going to end up on like a TikTok live. So I want to open this Elphaba story with being honest and being like, I have had in-person interactions.
Yeah.
And I'm, just want to clarify that first. But anyways, so this was something that Neave was really excited to talk about because obviously it's on our For You pages. But Elphaba, the person, is a big fan of Wicked. Have you ever seen Wicked?
Of course I've seen Wicked.
Really?
Twice.
In London?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. It's going to be my first time seeing
I joked.
Come on, it's not that shocking.
Yeah, you must go and see it.
Can I not just watch the movie?
No, you have to go and see it on like actual stage.
But I'm like, what if I don't enjoy it?
I
only enjoy going to
you
Hairspray.
will. No, I promise you will. I love Hairspray. But
Um,
Wicked, like it's a rite of passage. You have to see Wicked.
Before the movie? Well, we want to see
mean,
the movie in a couple of weeks, so
Yeah,
maybe
you
I
can
have
see it
time.
after the movie. It's fine. But you should see it. I'll come.
So, Elphaba is a big fan of Wicked, loves Defying Gravity. Her full thing is that anytime you will see the woman, she will be singing Defying Gravity.
Yes.
And she will be blowing out the mic singing Defying Gravity.
We've all been there.
Literally. Singing degree over here. So, Elphaba has been, I guess, on like a campaign of like begging to go to the, I mean, you know this more than me. What is the context? She's been like begging to.
She has been like DMing like
Ariana
on
Grande.
every platform, like the official Wicked movie page, asking to go to the premiere, and they had responded and said they don't. Yeah, they like DM'd her back and said the movie doesn't have any affiliation with her and she can't come.
Did that really happen?
Yes, that was a DM. So that's what I saw on my For You page.
I
I
didn't know
didn't
that.
see her reaction to that until you
So,
brought it to my attention. I just saw her saying that she couldn't go, and I was like, wow, that's crazy that the movie has made a statement.
well, all I've seen is, because I tried my best to keep out of UK TikTok. I'm keeping up with the Americans enough, like keep me, But I hadn't seen the DM. I had seen that she was like campaigning every day, being like, tag Ariana, like she was tagging.
She was
Ariana
making
in her-
all of the people that like follow her like spam everything,
Yeah.
which I think is why they reached out. Were like, stop it.
me trying to get a selfie with Mariah.
Mariah's like, cease and desist.
No, Mariah tweeted me. I tweeted and was like, how many retweets for a selfie? And she was like, I don't know, Adam. Might need more than retweets for this. She just ghosted me. She just like left me. I'm like, damn, Ma, what is what the fuck does it take? But I had seen that, and then I had seen that she said that she was gonna go to the London premiere in the fan section.
Yeah.
So I was under the impression that Elphaba was gonna be with the fans, where like Cynthia and Ariana and Ethan Slater fucking
Fell over.
please.
Did you
that?
see?
It was such a he ate though.
He honestly, he made a speedy recovery.
I thought Elphaba was gonna go in the fan section, and then I wasn't on TikTok for a couple days, and then I go on TikTok and I'm seeing Elphaba, Ryan Doherty, green face paint, streaky tears,
Hat on.
the hat is on, mama, even in like crying over not being at the premiere, and I'm like, wait, I thought this diva was gonna go to the premiere fan section and all, but like that's still going to the premiere.
Yeah.
And because I saw videos of Elphaba being like, well, I can't go in the fan section because everyone's going to notice me. And everyone was like, oh, you're so up yourself. And I'm like, okay, that is quite fair. Like, UK people.
Her whole brand is Wicked.
I'm like, damn, I'll like throw a bone. You know what I mean? Like, give her something. So anyways, what I want to go through is if people in the UK are going to eat this section, people in America you're going to be shocked. So you're going to be enthralled. But I wanted to go through the videos. I have not seen these other than the clip of Elphaba and her mother. Yeah. So let's put this right up here. And we have these clips of Elphaba, the UK creator, talking about so this was when the Wicked premiere was going on. And also people are so fucking evil. I did see on Twitter a screenshot of someone did like a TikTok battle, but the person was TikTok battling at the premiere.
that is so evil.
So wait, I'm going to pull this up on the screen over here. If you want to move a little bit there. So there we have it there. All right. I don't know which one to go for which one. Okay, so this is part 3. Part 4.
Where's part 1?
Is this part 1, you would say? Elphaba gets... Wait, what does that say? This one right here. At Creators Gone
the
Wild.
Wicked premiere. Watch what happens.
All right, so maybe this one. Elphaba gets upset
Yeah.
because she couldn't go to the Wicked premiere. All right, let's lock in.
course, I wish I was there.
Sorry, why is the audio like we're on a fucking train?
I hope everyone's having an incredible time, though. I really do mean that. I really wish everyone so much love and joy and happiness. And I hope everyone's having an incredible time. Even people that are there, you know, as fans there. I hope you're having an incredible time.
So why didn't she go
I hope it's...
She didn't
the
buy a
best for
ticket because
everyone.
she wanted to get invited, I think.
I truly do.
But you didn't need a ticket to go to the fan section. You needed to camp. People were camping like 2 days, and I think they let 400 or 500 people in.
That's probably why.
So I'm like,
I wouldn't count. Well, I guess she loves it.
I'm like, Alphaba, I mean, your entire thing is like, defying gravity.
Okay, Michael.
I'm like, Mama, Q.
Yeah.
Q.
Go with your
Also,
people.
just note, the green will get more and more skin color the more videos we watch.
You have no idea how much I wanted to be there.
The green came off so quickly.
I hope everyone's having an incredible time. But I'll wear my hat.
I'm just. I said I was just laughing at like the comedic value of the green disappearing with it. It's literally like that. I'm melting. But then she has to bring the hat.
I need to see the hat on, please.
Why did
it's
she bring
so
the hat
big.
out?
But I'll wear my hat and I'll be proud. And I'll be a strong bitch. I don't want to let anyone bring me down.
Wait,
She's crazy. She's crazy.
Also, if people think that this is really harsh, me reacting to this and stuff, I need you to know that Alphaba gets involved in drama to be talked about, and very much so is on live stream for reaction-esque thing. This is not the first person in the entire world. If you want to type in Alphaba Orion Doherty, you'll know that this is not us reacting to this is not just being like shocking or blah blah. Like this is not the first time. If anything, I'm surprised she didn't go to the fan section.
No one can bring me down. I wish I could tell about the clocks
To go back
and start over.
Yeah.
On live stream.
Because Alphaba has so many scandals that people were tagging Wicked being like, we don't want this person to represent the movie. So Alphaba's like, I wish I could go back in time and not get involved in all the drama and all the scandals. Very Trisha Paytas. Very Trisha Paytas. How many days until I cannot believe I'm seeing Trisha Paytas in like 10 days.
Oh, really?
At her show in New York.
10
We've
days?
talked about this.
I didn't know it was in 10 days.
Oh, maybe it's not. 10th of December. That's not 10 days.
That's not.
Build a better image for myself.
This makes me sad on the basis that comedic value aside, and I'm probably going to giggle at the other videos as well, just on how ridiculous.
Yeah. The green face paint is just, you can't not giggle.
This makes me sad because Alphaba, in my in-person interactions, has been a really nice person. And that's really problematic to say. But I'm just judging off of, like, my friends,
First
like, bring her around and
yeah.
stuff, right? And obviously, I know online stuff, and that doesn't take away from anything. But what I will say is this phenomenon of, you know, performing to the camera.
Yeah.
And living for the live stream and living for the whatever. It is the clout mentality. And it's scary because like to hear all as funny as the green face paint smudging and the fucking hat coming out is
like if she's that upset, it's crazy that her first thought is I must get on live and film it.
I just think as well there's been so many instances where Alphaba will be having breakdowns, but she'll go on TikTok live, and so many creators do this so that they can get gifts and they can get whatever. And I think we're in a really sad place of the internet where like that is what people do. No shade. So that's also something to note here. I also want people to know that this isn't just like a random person who's having a meltdown and they're, you know, are loved on the internet and stuff like that. There's many layers to this. So that was the first one, part 2.
Great. I hope everyone's having an incredible time.
I love the blotting.
So forgotten.
There's like more green disappearing.
I just want to tell everyone out there to be kind to each other and to be nice to each other and to not believe everything you see online about someone.
That's us after the last episode.
But these are tears of strength. I've been through so much. I've been through so much shit. So much shit. I've been through so much, man. So much. Great day.
Okay, that's part 2. Part 3.
To the point where it's too much. And I have to say this. 5 years. 5 years of it. 5 whole years of it. People have AI.
I saw
Sorry, I read a comment that
the
goes,
frozen pea.
I feel tight for laughing, but a comment I saw is the frozen pea at the back of the freezer be like. All right, here's my thing. I saw a comment in the last one that was like, your actions, it's like, this action will have a consequence.
Yeah.
Which is like a literal quote from like, I think like a TV show or a game or something like that. Like if you kill this person, this consequence, or if you eat this, there'll be this consequence. Very Adam and Eve. If you eat this apple, you have this consequence. And that's what makes me sad about this, because while she has gotten involved in so much, and while I believe that she provokes a lot for attention and money, I think that is a fact. And I believe that Alphaba will see this, and God bless, I understand the social media grind, but it is a case of this action has consequences, and that's very unfortunate because...
And she admitted it herself when she was like, I wish I could turn back the clock. So she knows the reason this has happened is because of her own content.
She loves Wicked. She loves Wicked. I mean, this deep...
That is clear.
She loves it. And, I mean, what other opportunity than a London premiere? She lives so close and stuff. And it's very unfortunate, but I think we're seeing one of the first examples of someone who... you know, has this tongue-in-cheek content experience a consequence of a brand and stuff like that. And it makes me sad, yes, but I also understand why the brand
Completely.
and why the scandals
And the
stuff
film
like-
is so clean cut. Like Wicked is a kids thing at its core, so they can't like risk any bad press.
Yeah.
They're already getting crazy press.
They are. So yeah, I think that's I want to keep playing these, but I just want people to know that like there's a level of ridiculousness to this if you understand the lore. And if you don't understand the lore, then maybe it'll be really sad to watch someone do this. But I think that there's a level of understanding what came before this.
Yeah.
So let's continue.
Me. People have lied about me online. People have said that I'm this and I'm that. When I'm not. I wish I could turn back the clocks. I wish I could be a better image for myself. What I ask is for people just to understand me and to like me. If you want to like me, it's fine. I know I'm not going to be liked by everyone. Just please leave me alone if you've got nothing nice to say.
All right, and then we have. Is this part? Oh, part 4.
Oh.
Fuck off, Mum.
Oh, okay. A big part of Alphaba lore, as we know, and maybe the audience don't know,
I didn't know this part.
that Alphaba will often fight with her mother.
No,
on
I
live.
don't know where I've been. I have never seen this.
Oh, baby, I know. You know who knows? My mom. My mom is very deep in the TikTok lore. A big part of it is that Alphaba's mom will... There's things that go on, treading very lightly here, but they will often fight on live stream because, again, everything is live streamed.
Yeah.
You know, it's like GIFs. Alphaba is making money the more breakdowns she has and stuff. So there's a level of, you know what I mean? She's not dumb. She's not like, it's this new world of, so there's so many layers to this, which is what complicates it. It's not a case of watching someone have a breakdown over this and being like, I understand where they're coming from. It's really sad, because there's so many fucking layers
like
to
she's
it.
doing it online for a reason.
But Alphaba and her mother will often fight, and her mother, I'm not gonna actually, no. I'm just gonna watch it, because same way with you, same way with me, I wouldn't want anyone commenting on my mom. Even though the content heavily focuses on the mom.
Yeah.
It
will speak for itself.
But this was a clip of Alphaba's mom being like, get off the fucking live stream.
Yeah.
You are doing exactly what you're saying that you're getting in trouble for. You're giving them this content. You're having a breakdown so that you get money, so that you get views, which is therefore the reason you're not getting to the premiere. So this is you're feeding into said problem. So anyway, this is the last one.
Fuck off, Mum. I wish I was. You're not gonna fucking shout at me, Mum.
Well then turn it off.
No, I'm not having it. Do not fucking shout at me.
I want you to turn that off now.
No.
Get off the line 'cause you're crying.
No.
Turn it off.
No.
Turn it off.
No.
Off.
No.
Off.
No.
You're giving them exactly what they fucking
You are. You're shouting
No,
at me.
I'm not.
Just leave me in
No,
peace.
this is my
I was
house.
shouting into my
This
fucking
is my
arms.
house.
So again, everything is content.
Yeah.
Everything is content, and that's why this topic in specific is very layered, but let's continue.
I wish I lived on my own.
So do I.
Yeah.
This is my home, but fortunately that all got fucked up, didn't it?
Yeah.
So turn it off now.
Oh yeah, they're gonna love that, aren't they? Shouting at me, aren't they?
I don't give a flying fuck about any single one.
Which again is like, we have Alpha being like, they're gonna love that. So even in the midst of a huge fight with her mother, she's very aware that we're watching. It's like, it's
Of them. They are not in my life. I couldn't give a shit. They're nothing but vultures and snakes. You turn that live right off now.
Fine.
Good, turn it off then.
Well, get out my face.
Turn it
Get
off.
out my face, and I will.
No, I won't get out your face. This is my living room. Turn it off now.
oi.
Wow.
Oi.
And
I
that
didn't know you
happens
didn't
a
know that
lot.
lore. Huh?
And that happens a lot.
A lot.
That's insane.
So that's why this is so layered. I mean, Alphaba, the creator, the person, is... This sounds so nasty to say, but like, is known as someone who... Sounds so nasty, but like, is... I don't even want to say this because it like sounds like a joke, but I promise it's not. Like, a joke. Like, she does things for the sake of... It's very much so the Trisha Paytas model.
She knows people are laughing at her, and she's playing into that because she knows it gets her views.
But then there's TikToks of her being like, I wish I could go back and rewrite it. And I'm like, it's like... And then there's scandals along the way as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many layers to this. So this Wicked thing has been huge because it's made its way into the Americans.
I saw an American yesterday being like, "Who is this green person?" And I was like, "Oh."
That's what's the funny thing to me. I mean, like, could you imagine I was having a meltdown online and I'm wearing pink? Mama, it's like the diva is going down. So for me, having Americans know who Alphaba is crazy.
That is insane.
It's crazy. So like, what is your take on Alphaba? Because I remember calling you when I lived in Manchester and being like, Alphaba's out all the time. She has a lot of scandals online. She has been very nice to me in the times that we've hung out, but I feel very scared that I'm going to get involved in something when I don't want to be, and I'm trying to tread lightly, and I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to also understand that if someone is constantly provoking social media, maybe there's something there as well. So what is your take on it? Because
if I was in your position, I would have done exactly the same in taking a wide berth, because
leaving Manchester,
moving back to the city I moved out from. Because I just think, like you said, if every single thing is content, then how do you know that like the nice conversation you're having isn't going to be turned into content later on?
Yeah.
And if every single person in the UK has a view on her, that means if one thing goes viral, every single person, like, they're going to have a view on what you've done in that situation too.
Yeah.
And most of the time it's a negative thing. Like, I don't think I ever see her on my For You page and it's a positive video. Like, it's always some controversy or some drama or some allegation, which I don't know what is real or not, but like, that's all I'm seeing from her. I've never seen something good. So I would do with what you would have done and just been like, hey, you're nice in person, but I don't need your online presence.
I definitely want to talk about that on the basis that I've talked about Alpha in the past, and my American viewers have been like, who the fuck is this? I'm enthralled. But now I'm getting American people being like you said, who the fuck is this green person?
And people were like, why are you being so mean to this green person? Because obviously everyone from the UK was like, no, fuck her. Yeah. And it's just, there is so much law.
Yeah. Okay. So we are now going to talk about something completely different. But before that, I need to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to take a little quick break and then we're going to come right back. So see you in a second. Okay. And we are back. So, like I said, the next topic completely shifts gears, and we are going to be talking about something I've been so excited to talk about on myself, but I love you being here for it because you were involved whenever I heard about this for the first time. So, we're going to be talking about Rosanna Pansino, and she is in the news right now because she has launched her new podcast, which is called Ridiculous, which I love the name of that. And the first episode is something that I knew was coming. And whenever I went to film with her, we were in LA at the same time, and I went to film with her, and I was super nervous.
Yeah,
I remember that.
The pep talk we had to have.
What did you do that day?
I went to the flea market.
Was that day?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Love. We had 2 very different days.
I had a chill day. You did too.
Did we go out that night?
Yes. I don't know where we went. Oh, that was the night I got sick.
But anyways, whenever I went and filmed with Rosanna, she was telling me about her podcast, and she showed me her set, and we actually filmed our video right here. You'll see it in a second. But she told me that her first episode of the podcast was going to be obviously what is in the headlines right now, and it was that she was going to be, cutting to the chase, smoking her dad. And she told me about it, and it was so shocking because, I mean, it's quite a shocking thing to hear on your first time meeting someone. Yeah. But when she told me the story about it and told me about her podcast in general, first of all, I love when someone is really stoked about something and really excited about it. And she is very passionate about the podcast, and huge congratulations to her on the launch of it. I know she's on episode 1 right now. It's called the Ridiculous Podcast. Please go and support it. I love this episode. But yes, it was that where she is smoking her dad, and we talked about it. That sentence is so crazy, but she told me about this, and I was like hearing what went down, and it was equally shocking as it was fascinating. And we'll talk about like our opinion whenever we heard about it in a second. But she has officially launched the episode, therefore we can talk about it. So it's not a little secret anymore. So you have not seen it, so I want to show you a little clip from it. Hear her talk about it, and then I think there's a conversation to have about this phenomenon. So episode 1, I mean, she's really cutting to the chase here. It's called Smoking My Dad. Ridiculous episode 1. So I'm going to move this down a little bit right here. So let's hear what she has to say, and then we're going to talk about it.
Now, this first episode of Ridiculous is going to be just a...
Also, she told me that the champagne in this, or at least in the intro, was the one that I gave her as a gift that day. And you know that I walked far to get that.
That was a journey to get that champagne.
So I was like, oh. So anyways.
A little bit different than future episodes. I wanted this episode to be really special and to honor my dad, who we lost about 5 years ago to leukemia. I wrote down a few things that I thought you all should know about him. I'm going to read those right now. My dad was a good husband to my mom. They were happily married for over 40 years until we lost him to leukemia. A caring brother to his siblings, a good friend, neighbor, a great dad, and one of my best friends. He raised me with the values that he believed in. One of these values was always to give back to your community. When we were growing up and we didn't have a lot of money, I gave my time. I volunteered a lot. And now that I've found a little success in my life, I'm able to give my time as well as finances. He was an outdoorsman. He loved hiking, camping, fishing, hunting. He was a family man. He loved working hard and having fun. He worked for Hanford and Boeing for his entire life. He retired from Boeing, working on military contracts. And he loved music. Whenever he was not working, he was playing music. He was even in a recreational band with his friends, and our house was filled with music because of him. We used to just hang out on the weekends, and he'd have a guitar, and I would sing, and we would just jam and bond. He also distilled his own whiskey and gin, and he grew hops for beer that he liked to make on his own in our backyard. He was kind of a Willie Nelson type, and he smoked from time to time. And we even smoked a cigar together for the first time on my 18th birthday. My dad taught me the values of getting a good education, being financially responsible, volunteering and giving back to your community, loving people. And because of that, I think I'm just like my dad. He was a social butterfly. I think that definitely rubbed off on me. I'm a social butterfly. He also taught me to respect life and not be wasteful. Don't take shit from anyone. And just because you're small doesn't mean you can't make a difference. Here's one of my dad's quotes that he said to me on an occasion that really resonated with me. He said, "Surround yourself with folks that have a positive influence on your passions, and always play with musicians that are better than you," which was fairly easy in my case. Which was funny because my dad, he could play guitar, but when he sang, he was always just a little off. The tune was off. He was always a beat off. When he was singing, he definitely marched to the beat of his own drum. And lastly, he taught me to not take shit from anybody. To be honest with you guys, I talked to my YouTube rep, and they actually advised me not to do this episode. I'm sure it will get age restricted, demonetized, and probably
It did.
suppressed in the algorithm, but I do not care. My dad was a badass and quite a little rebel, and I will be...
She's the same hair color as your natural hair here.
Yeah, she does.
Damn.
It's lovely.
2 redheads. Is that what you call yourself?
No. I dyed my hair ginger for 4 years.
Yeah, but what's your natural hair color?
Brown.
Wow. I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, I'm not a real ginger.
I thought this was like...
It's ginger forever now because I've fucked it.
Fair.
be following in his footsteps, like father, like daughter. So to start this episode, I want to tell you guys about my dad's dying wish. Before he passed, he told me and my mom what he would like us to do with his ashes. And at first my mom was a little bit hesitant because she thought this is kind of hippie, you know, people are going to judge us. But as time's gone on, and it's been 5 years now, we just really think that it's the right time to do what Dad wanted and to honor him the way he wanted. So years ago, he told me and my mom that he would like us to take his ashes, mix it in with some soil, and grow a marijuana plant and smoke him. And I told you he was a rebel. And I actually have footage of us doing this together. It was very emotional and special, and I'm glad that we got to have these.
So yeah, also want to clarify this because a lot of people online are saying that they're like, oh my God, this is like she smoked her dad's ashes. That
the plant.
Technically it was mixed in with soil, and that was that.
Memories, like honoring Dad together. I even got to work with a local licensed grower here in California. His name's Ninja, and he was absolutely amazing. I learned so much from him. He's very knowledgeable, not just about cannabis plants, but plants in general. And I just can't thank him enough for helping me honor my dad's wishes. Anyways, back to it. We just recently harvested the cannabis plant and we made joints. I have this cute little carrying case, and a friend of mine helped me roll these. And not only are they adorable, but they are rolled with pink rolling paper. So they even match the set. I mean, if Papa Pizza could see this, you guys, he would get a huge kick out of this. So at the end of this podcast episode, I'm going to be fulfilling my...
So anyways, and then I'm going to go to the part so she smokes it on camera and then kind of comes back with her sister and her mom. And we're going to watch that right now. And then we're going to talk about it. All right, here we go.
With my sister now, Molly, and then I'm also here.
Her sister was so sweet. She was the one that got me the sugar cookies whenever I was like, I really want to get sugar cookies. Love you, Molly.
With my mom, Mama Mia. Hi. Yep. So we're all feeling pretty good. And if you guys are down, Once a year, we usually do a shot of whiskey for Dad, but this year I thought we could do 2. So usually we do it around Christmas when we lost him. But I've got here, this is Dad's last batch from his last batch of whiskey that he made. He distilled this. So do you guys want to do a little shot of Dad's whiskey?
I'll do a little shot, yeah.
Okay. I'll keep it little.
And please, because this stuff is 130 proof. Like, he was not messing around.
Cheers, you guys. Oh, wait, we should do a toast to Dad. He liked an Irish toast. Does
You're
anybody...
really good at his Irish ones. You should
Which one do you want? Just any of them?
What about the turning the feet?
Oh, Molly wants a spicy toast today. Well, a spicy Irish toast.
I was about to say I didn't know there was different toasts. We just fucking neck it done in one. Wait, whatever this is, we're gonna start doing this.
You shall get.
May those who love us, and for those who don't love us, may God turn their hearts. And if he can't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles, so we will know them by their limping.
Love that.
I'm gonna be honest. I retained 0 of that. What was it?
May those who love us, and may those who don't love us, may God turn their hearts, and if they can't turn their hearts, turn their ankles, and we will know them by limping.
What does that mean?
Like, if the people don't like you, they're going to fall and hurt themselves, and we'll know if people don't like you because they'll be limping. I got you, girl.
Can we start doing that?
I'd love to.
I've
got that locked in.
We start doing that at the club. we go, everyone, we're going to do a shot, and everyone's like, 3, 2, me and Neave go, no. What was it again?
Those who love us, and those who don't love us,
wait.
may God turn their hearts.
Wait.
I feel like I'm freestyling now. May those who love us, and may those who don't love us, God turn their hearts. If you can't turn their hearts, turn their ankles, and we will recognize them by limping.
I hope you remember that, because the next crush...
I've said it 4 times. I've got it.
Wow. I didn't know that. I normally... People do, like, the one with tequila. It's like...
I've never heard any of them.
Like,
oh, yeah. I don't know what it is.
Haribo.
I
feel like I said just Haribo.
Haribo.
Here.
I love that.
To Mike.
Woo!
They did that so well.
I need a little water.
I feel like I have dragon's breath after that. It's just...
The mum literally not bothered.
Oh my gosh!
The mother's hair is so diva as well.
I was gonna say the blunt that we smoked was delicious. It tastes so good. It was, Molly, high quality.
Seriously, I don't remember ever... I'm not a big smoker, and I don't ever remember it tasting that good.
Me neither. That was delicious. Did we dab the dad? Or was what we did not dab? What's dabbing?
Well, I just enjoy the alliteration of you saying that.
Dab the dad?
Dab the dad. I actually don't know what...
Mom, have you
the
ever
definition
dabbed?
of that is.
I have no idea what you're
Dab.
Okay, wait. Let's back it up. Let's
What is
rewind it.
dabbing?
Mamma Mia, have you ever smoked weed with Dad?
Yes.
How many times? Tell me everything.
I can't count.
Oh, okay. Did you do it anytime after kids?
Or is it before kids?
It was before.
She was like, definitely after I needed it.
It wasn't,
Dad gave me the best advice when I was going to college. I was so scared because I did not know anyone else going to my college.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know one person. I didn't go with a friend. I said, Dad, I'm scared. I don't have any friends here. I don't know how to make friends. In college, it's so different than high school. He's like, I've got great advice. He's like, see your mini fridge? He's like, we're going to fill it with beer. And at class, you tell somebody, hey, do you want to come over and study and have a beer? Boom, you're going to have a friend.
Great advice.
Mama, we do that. Well, I do that. All right. I think this is really interesting because I want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So there has been a lot of controversy over this because obviously it's a shocking headline. And I remember when Ro told me, she was like, oh, like it's going to be a new thing in California. And truth be told, it does sound very California to me like this. This is not if I heard this over in the UK for the first time, I'd be a little bit shocked. But
First of all, you're getting arrested.
Over in California, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. But I remember when she told me and I processed it and I came home and I told you that night, obviously under the pretense that I know you and Leo would not have told anyone. And obviously no one found out. So we kept it under wraps, Mama. But I just wanted someone to talk to about it because we had an open conversation that night about it and about kind of this concept of like what you do with ashes and stuff. So my question for you is, what is your take on this versus do you have any experience with people doing this with ashes, or like in an idealistic world, what would you like to happen to you as well? Because I think ultimately this opens a conversation of, while this is shocking, specifically just like in a place where like weed isn't legal, but doesn't stop me. There's something to be said about that was something that her dad wanted, and like they're all there.
I was gonna say the fact that they've all come together and they're all having this like open conversation about memories and the advice that he'd given. Like, it's actually lovely that what he wanted was basically for them to come together to do something.
Yeah.
And they have done exactly that. Like, I think it's great.
And grief is so hard within itself as well, that there's so much of like suppressing it, that like this is what you just said of like a coming together moment. So is there anything that you have experienced like this? Well, not with weed, or is there something that you would like to happen to you if you put yourself in that instance?
So the only ashes I've ever spread has been my dogs. And
your dog went
no, I wish it was as lovely as this. I have never spread ashes before. Apparently neither of any of my family, because we took it, like his ashes, to the park that he loved the best. Like, it was the middle of the woods. I lived in the countryside, so it was fine. But I didn't want to touch it because I don't know that you could touch it.
No, but I'm the same though.
Like, touching it feels crazy to me. So I had like the bag and I was the first person to scatter the ashes. And so I tried to do like a really beautiful like scattering moment and literally went. And then it was a really still day. So the ashes didn't get blown away. So you could see up the park just clumps of his ashes. It was so sad.
Wait, the only story this reminds me of is whenever one of my friends, she had her dog and the dog had its ashes, and this was back in Derry, right? And we again went to the equivalent of a park. It was like Culmore Point Park back in Derry, and she was like, can you help me spread the ashes? And I went, I love you. No, I have a really big fear of dead things, dead people. I don't care if it's ashes. I don't care if it's an open casket. My cats, Tyler and Milo, are in there in their ashes. When I got their ashes, obviously, and they're in the box, it took about 10 minutes, specifically with Tyler, for me to lift that, because I find it so uncomfortable. I find it so, like, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, it's a weird like thing being like, this was a thing and like a person, or
heaven forbid when I go through my first family one of those,
because
where
I've not had anyone.
No,
close.
me neither.
Yeah.
We talked about this, where thankfully we're in this situation where we haven't gone through a big family loss yet. Obviously, we know life is inevitable. But I truly have such an uncomfortableness with death in general that I want to be so far removed from it. But anyways, before I get soppy, the story with my friend's dog, she was doing the same thing where she wanted to like, and I had to be there. I was like, I'll stand beside you, babe. I'm not going anywhere near it. She opens it. And again, he loved being down there. She like goes like this. Neave. You know how scared I am when it comes to that, right? Like, barely touch like my cats. Tell me why. Tell me. Oh my, I literally, I'm like, I could cry at the thought of it because it like never left me. Neave. She threw the ashes and the wind picked up. The wind picked up. And they went all over us. Neave, do you want to know what happened?
Was it in your mouth?
I threw up everywhere. And I felt super disrespectful. But I have never been so scared in my entire life. She had the ashes and she went like this. And of course.
It's very hard to throw them.
The wind picked up, and mama, it was like from like here down. And it wasn't just like, oh, like a little bit. She threw the entire fucking thing. The family gave her
There's
permission.
a lot of ashes as
Mama,
well, just for a dog.
All over us. The first thing I could do, I started to freak out. I like go like this. I projectile throw up everywhere. And she tells me to this day that her memory of spreading her dog's ashes is me throwing up on them.
Oh, but at least it distracted her, you know?
I don't think that's what she wanted.
Wow.
But, so when I think of like ashes and stuff like this, my perception of it is I am so scared of that.
What do
that
you want?
Well, I asked you first.
Okay, I know exactly what I want.
You want to be made into a guitar and someone to sing with you at BIM University College, the college you went to.
Please, I'd rather anything else. No, what? First of all, I'm going to tell you what my mum wants because it's insane.
Your mum wants for you.
No, what she wants for herself. She's got one specific place. She wants only a tiny portion of her ashes scattered. It's like on a nice hill.
Sorry, not to cut off a second. I'm surprised that your family are very pro ashes. My religious grandparents and stuff are like, blah, 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 I want to be in the...
Buried. No, my family are all... Well, my mum is no longer Catholic, so
Yeah.
she's very much want to be cremated because what she wants is a Viking funeral. Do you know what this is? So traditionally, it's when the body gets pushed out to sea
Oh, I
and
know
then
that.
a bow and arrow is thrown on fire. This is crazy. That's on fire, gets released, hits the body, and it goes up in flames.
Donna, what's this?
Obviously, that's illegal because, you can't just light a body on fire in the middle of the sea. So what she wants is her ashes to be sent out to sea and then some sort of bonfire fire aspect because she loves the
Climate change. Really?
Yeah, has always said it since I was a child. She says a little bit of me spread, the rest of me into the sea, light me on fire. I don't know how I'm going to pull that off, guys. I hope she doesn't die. Lots of money, it sounds like.
That's crazy.
I'll be the next headline, don't you worry.
Bow and arrowing my mother. That's crazy.
I know, and it's my favorite thing to tell people.
I know people going out on boats and putting ashes on the boat.
Yeah.
Or not on the boat. You're forever just on like a Stella line, like fucking boat back and forth.
Into the ocean.
I know in the ocean. I know bodies is very much so in the military when they don't have time to like cremate them. Viking thing. Has anyone else heard that? Because I have not heard. And also, if you know Neave's mom, that's not what I would.
Really?
No.
Oh, what did you think she'd want? She's crazy. I love her so much.
I feel like, and I hope she's watching this. Donna, love you, girl. I would. This is maybe going to be offensive to her and to you, but I would like anticipate like a very traditional
Open casket.
burial. Yeah, open casket.
No, she doesn't want that. She wants to be cremated.
Would you do an open casket of you?
God, no. I think they're so scary. I bet you've seen a few growing up in Ireland.
No. Well, yeah, open casket is a big thing. Is that a thing in America?
I don't think so.
Well,
Not as
if
much.
it is or if it isn't, I mean, it's very fucking self-explanatory. But basically, there's such thing as called a wake. And it'll be the body is brought to the house that they lived in with the coffin. And the coffin will be open and the body's there like fully embalmed, just like fucking like sitting. But I also want to preface this by saying one of my best friends is a coroner and also does embalming, lifts body. Like she does everything from like when you die to when you're going, dying or when you're being cremated. So like I'm someone who has such a fear of not only, I'm not going to say that I have a fear of death because I used to, but I have a fear of the after.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not here, but like whatever. I have a fear of when it comes to someone else. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like when it comes to something in my family, whenever that happens, like I'm going to be like my brothers need to take over. Like I really don't even want to be there. Like
it's going to be hard to process, definitely.
But open casket's a big thing in Ireland, and I've always find it incredibly interesting. I've only been to one.
Oh.
And it was my granny, but I only knew her from like 1 to 6.
Yeah.
And it was like my dad's side and he like loved her and it was such a shock to her. She actually died on April Fool's Day. And I remember being like 6 years old and my mom and dad getting a call and it was a while before they realized that it wasn't April Fool's. Anyway, but I remember not understanding the concept of death at that age.
Yeah.
And being brought into her house. My dad had me on his shoulders and the motherfucker walked me into a door, but obviously I couldn't complain because he was like really sad and stuff, but like he really hurt me. And I remember going in and not understanding the fact that like, why is this diva not moving?
I guess because she was right there, you're like, well, she's fine.
Like, why is she not moving? Like, I'm like, she looks good as fuck.
Her makeup's done. Her face
like,
is beat.
That's the weirdest thing about a wake. Like, I was like, damn, she looked good as fuck. And I'm like, but I was too young to understand the concept. So I've never been to any other ones. I've also only been to one funeral in my entire life, and it was
I've been to
my
one.
school canteen lady.
Oh, that's very nice that
I
you
sang
went.
in the choir,
Classic.
but I haven't been to others, and it's because I refuse.
Really?
I refuse to go to a funeral. I refuse to go to, and you know what's even worse? And like I sound like the worst person in the entire world. You know, Alexandra was talking about
Yeah.
Paris. Couldn't go. Couldn't
Really?
go.
To be
Couldn't
fair,
go.
I can understand that though, because you were young, and also it's a friend that you don't. It's like with grandparents, there's a part of you that's like they're gonna go.
There's a level of expectation.
Yeah, when it's a friend who's that young, there's not a single part of you that ever expects you'd have to attend their funeral before you attend like your prom or like
Yeah.
a big milestone in your life. So I can completely understand why that would be really hard to go to.
Well, I mean, keep in mind as well, this is how bad I am at death as a concept. I couldn't go to my friend's funeral, which is something that, and this is the craziest thing, even to this day, I don't regret it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. When Tyler was put down, couldn't be in the room.
Which I think again is
Milo
very
couldn't be in the room. It's gonna like break me whenever inevitably I have to go through it with the dogs, with family members and stuff. What is your relationship with that as a concept in terms of like?
My granddad passed away when I was 13, and I was actually there when he died, which was in the hospital room with him. And it was really sad, obviously, but he was so ill that I was very much like, I would rather him die now than continue suffering. And me and my mum, like, we will always find a funny side of something. So we got told by people that were close to him that he loved Johnny Cash. And I remember we got like a text from someone being like, play Johnny Cash to him. Obviously Johnny Cash has so many songs. So we were just like picking our favorites, and I was like playing it to him. And obviously it's awful, but I don't know if you've ever been around someone that's about to die, but they groan all the time.
I haven't.
So
I
every
haven't.
song we played, he would be like, "Ugh," like he was not happy. So we were pissing ourselves. We were like, he doesn't like that one. He's not a fan of that one. And then I sung a Johnny Cash song at his funeral. And I was like, he's not gonna like it. And I just picked my favorite one because I was like, I don't fucking know what he liked. Like, I'll just pick one that I like. So that's the only experience of death I've had. And I sung at the funeral, which was really crazy because I didn't think I'd be able to, because everyone was crying their eyes out. And I was like, baby, my singing degree is going to have to shine through because I'm devastated. And I played guitar, and I was there fucking...
And she did a little bit of choyo. There
You
was
know.
background dancers. There was...
But so that's the only experience of death I've had. And it was really, really tragic. But he was so old and so ill. It was like, it was his time to go. So I was very okay with it in the end. I was like, and it was a lovely celebration of his life when we went to his funeral. But I've never had a sudden death. I think that would be, or like, it would just be insane to experience, I think. And that's a very different type of grief that you have to go through.
So when you, like, this with her dad, and like, he was so passionate about this, and like, again, as shocking as the headline is, like, literally, the video is called Smoking My Dead Dad. But when you hear it and it's so sweet and so wholesome, and you hear your mother's extreme, so I'm intrigued to hear what yours is. Do you
Mine's
envision
not as
anything
crazy.
for yourself? Have you already thought about that?
Never. Literally
I've thought about
never.
it for me.
Go on, because I don't have any. Oh, I actually did see.
You were about to tell.
You-
she was
oh,
about to fucking tell a story,
you
and then she
can-
goes, "Oh, no, no."
I do know you can grow yourself into a tree, very similar to this vibe. And
Bitch,
then
I'm gonna get high as fuck. This is for Neave.
for my tree. No, I want like a big, maybe like oak tree or something, because then I'll just be there forever. But I don't know.
And I comment.
Or you can make yourself into like jewelry. I've seen that as well.
I know that Kris Jenner wants to be Diamond.
Yeah, I've seen loads of diamonds. I said to my mom, I'd love to wear you as a ring, but she wants a fucking Viking.
I wonder, before I say about what I like have envisioned about myself, what do you, and this is like so deep, what do you think your relationship will be like to someone that you love's ashes? Like what will your relationship be to that? Because I've thought like, because I'm like, I think I would take the ashes everywhere I go, and then I'm like, maybe I wouldn't. I'm like, what do you think? And not disclosing who the person would be, just say in general, like a really loved one. What would your relationship
I
be
don't
to it?
think I'd be that attached to the ashes, because I don't know. I wouldn't want to. I don't even know if I'd have them in my house. I'm gonna be completely honest.
For what reason? Just like,
I just think I'd want to spread them wherever they wanted them to be spread.
You wouldn't want to like
I-
have a physical copy.
I don't think I'd want to keep their ashes, no, because
Wow.
I just don't think that's something I would take comfort from. I'd constantly be like, oh, I've always said to my parents, I want their wedding rings, because that to me is more sentimental than their ashes, because it's something that like they gave to each other, and also I'd get both of them because my brother's not wearing them. Duh.
Yeah.
I think that would be more sentimental to me than their ashes, and I'd wear them every day. I'm not the sort of person that would enjoy. I would just leave their ashes on the shelf and probably forget about them, which.
But I think that's a
I
big thing
wouldn't
as well.
wanna
I
do.
mean, when I came around it, I really did find comfort in Tyler and Milo's ashes.
But I guess with a pet, that's different because you're used to them being in the house 24/7.
Fair.
I'm not used to my parents or people being in my house 24/7. I don't think I'd need their ashes.
I think I believe that I will be bring everywhere.
I can see that for you.
I think I'm gonna be a bring everywhere.
in like a necklace or
Well,
like
everything.
the whole of it.
Me coming into a restaurant. Do you have room for two? I think
He's on a flight and they go, "What's in this?" Fuck me.
it's my hand
So
luggage.
you got you name everybody.
I think that I'll definitely at a minimum be necklace and jewelry.
But what if you lost it?
I wouldn't. I promise you I wouldn't.
Okay.
I like that was something that would be so serious to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, in terms of like me, I always was like, I'm gonna, first of all, for so many of years of my life, I was so scared of dying and death, and I still am, but like being friends with Emily, who's one of my friends who like literally works in the death industry. So I just looked up and fucking saw myself in the cardboard cutout, and I hadn't looked
The
at the screen in a
death
while.
industry is
That's
crazy.
what she is. I've definitely realized that people die, and they die all the time. So like it's something inevitable that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I just think we've been so fortunate, both me and you,
Yeah.
that we haven't experienced it thus far. That we're like kind of naive.
Yeah.
to it. But
We can't say how we'd react because it hasn't happened.
I have reacted horribly to the cats, so I'm like
Yeah. Fuck
But
me.
I always was like, I want to be buried, and like I want this, like, because I eventually, like, within the last couple of years, every time I go back to Derry, I will visit my granny from the Wakes grave, and I like love it, and like I would like diva. I would
Yeah.
I would smoke so much weed, and I would go and sit with her, and I'd talk to her, and I'm like, damn, I need to get a job. But anyways, I initially started to like come around to the concept of like I obviously want to be cremated, and it happened with getting the cat's ashes. I don't know who's going to do this, and I think this comes into the conversation of like we need to have children, someone to like carry on the legacy. I would love to like go to my favorite places.
Yeah.
Put me in Paris. Put me in L'Araide Bar where they strip naked. Put me in Venice Beach. Put me at the DefNoodles studio in West Hollywood. Put me at Sir in West Hollywood. Put me at Revenge in Brighton. Like all these.
Is that why you're having kids? So that they can
So
take
they
your
can put
ashes
me in
places?
Revenge in Brighton. But I think something like that. Like, but I'm like, damn, that's like, I'm like, oh, I wish they would like secretly put me in these places. And I'm like, damn, that's weird as fuck.
Also illegal.
Is it?
Yeah. You're not really supposed to spread ashes
Kids in the
anywhere in
future.
public.
Shh. Is it really?
Yeah, well,
Oh.
it's like human remains.
Well, people would put their ashes in It's a Small World.
It
in
doesn't stop.
Disneyland.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Also,
stop people.
put me in Disneyland as well if you see that.
People do it all the time. I mean, it's normal, but it is technically not allowed.
Damn. So, what would you want to happen to you?
Don't know. Never thought about it
Come on,
until
think
right
about
this
it.
second.
Buried or ashes?
Definitely ashes. I don't like the idea of being buried. I'm not religious in any way, and I just think I'd be trapped down there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd definitely get cremated. I don't know where my ashes would go. I'm not having kids anytime soon or ever probably, so I don't know who would scatter them. Your
Depends who
kids
outlasts each
probably.
other.
Godmother.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have kids just so that can happen, if I'm being completely honest. But anyways, I was having this kind of thought process about Rosanna, and so much love to Rosanna. I again, quite shocking when I heard it for the first time, but like seeing everything, it really
It's
just kind of
beautiful.
showed that it was a beautiful moment of what he actually really wanted. I was thinking about grief, and very topical to today, it was Liam Payne's funeral.
Of course, yeah.
And we already know about Liam Payne. We don't need to get into it, but it was his funeral today. And I find it, I spoke to you about this.
Yeah.
I find it incredibly fucking shocking that there was photographers waiting outside his funeral. Tell me why I log into Twitter and I'm seeing photos of Cheryl, Harry Styles, Zayn,
Yeah.
Louis,
Niall.
every single...
Simon Cowell with a
Was he
crystal
there?
elf bot, whatever they're called.
No
Yeah.
way.
I saw a TikTok being like, no way did I think I'd see Simon and his crystal, whatever it's called.
No way. What flavor do you think he would be?
It was like purpley pink, I think. Whatever that is. I don't know.
But I just thought it was so crazy that there are paparazzi that are waiting to take photos outside of a funeral, and how grief in the media is so different than real time. Like his and Cheryl's son was like, the photographers were putting a price on a photo of him today, like literal toddler or child or whatever, like millions of dollars
that's
that he had to be taken in and out
awful.
behind.
And his dad is dead, like, and that's what you're doing.
And it's the same phenomenon of Princess Diana, of
Yeah.
people like will push the people in the media to die, and they'll exploit them until that moment, but then they will make so much money on the grief and of, you know, things like that. And I don't know, whenever I was talking about the Rosanna thing, it really just made me focus on the fact that I saw that today and just how weirdly normal it was. And also like the amount of photos of One Direction that were like hundreds of thousands of likes, and they were like, oh my god, we got a reunion. And I'm like,
It's crazy
could
that
you imagine
you're
someone
like, they're
photographing
happy about the fact that they're in the same room when the reason they're in the same room is because they're all obviously grieving someone. It's just so like, there's an expectation because they are famous, they have to just be okay with it. And it's like, well, no, because there's still people that are grieving a loss of someone. It's crazy.
yeah, I mean, that made me really sad today. And it just is this phenomenon as well of like fans overstepping boundaries, the media overstepping boundaries, and I just think grief is so complicated. And
Do you remember the Dolan twins when their
were
dad
the
died?
fans, yeah.
And they like arranged a meet and greet and to take selfies with
Do you know,
them.
I was thinking of saying that, but I was like, I don't know if that's too niche.
Oh, I was literally thinking it the whole time, and I'm not even on YouTube. Hey, I like the Dolan twins. But like, crazy. Like, I don't understand where your brain like stops at it's the funeral, maybe boundaries should happen into, well,
If anyone doesn't know, it was, well, I'll let you say it.
they like had an Instagram page when the Dolan twins' dad passed away, and there was like a step by step being like, we get there. Like, it was like step 1, arrive. Step 2, grieve. Step 3, selfie with the boys. Step 4.
Yes, it
Like, it was
was.
crazy.
dude.
As if you were gonna like, as if anyone was gonna allow that, first of all. And why do you think you're entitled to that? Like, their dad is dead and you think you're gonna get a picture with them.
And they've left the internet, and people always be like, I wish they would come back. And I'm like, you, like, as fans, you do not deserve for these. And they were kids.
Like, they were children. They were like, what, 16?
They were 16, 17 when that was happening.
Awful.
But I think this concept of grieving is something that a lot of people don't talk about, because obviously everyone goes through it. And my last thing I'll say on this is, I was saying to you last night, I posted a video on my second channel where I was talking about aging. Let me get this right, because I fucked it up. Aging is a privilege denied to many. I keep saying denied to most, and that's very pessimistic. And a lot of people were opening up, and I'm actually going to pull it up just so you can see it really quick here. The amount of people that were commenting on the video and saying that they had lost people. So wait, let me just put this on the screen. Ain't that the truth? I just lost my sister a year ago. I lost my brother 7 years ago. I lost my 22-year-old son. I lost my dad to cancer 2 weeks ago. Just lost a family member today out of nowhere. Today marked 10 years of my friend passing. People were going on talking about, like, obviously, like me talking about Alexandra. My best friend passed away last December. So obviously my grandma passed away. People are going on. And it just kind of was this concept of like, it's crazy how often and how daily people go through loss and grief, but it's not talked about.
Not at all,
we don't talk about grief.
No.
And I hope that we can get to the place of grief is so normal to talk about that when it inevitably happens to all of us, we're at least a little bit prepared.
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
that's
have
a
those
big
conversations with people.
I think that's a big shocking part of grief as well, that like there's an internal sense as well, but there's also like an unforsaken clock of when's too long for you to grieve.
Yeah, and like people expect you to grieve in the same way and also then get over it at a certain point, and you will never recover from grief. Like there will always be that part of you that will always grieve the person you've lost. And I just think that can come out in so many ways. It's so unrealistic to expect you to get over anything.
So in closing this topic, I'm not going to talk about the Liam Payne thing anymore because it really fucking pisses me off. And I know we talked about this, but this Rosanna thing, it was shocking when I first heard it, but I initially, even on being shocked, was like, this is what they're doing to process it. But when I saw this video, I was like, it is really beautiful that while he is no longer here, something that he really wanted happened. And I'm going to redirect everyone to the Ridiculous podcast to go and watch it. And Rosanna, I'm sending you so much love. Congratulations on your podcast. And yeah, it's going really well. Okay, we have one final topic before we are done. And yet again, I need to pee, so I will see you in 1 second. Okay, we are back and final topic. So, final topic is something that you don't know that we're going to talk about, but I'm very excited because I want to hit you with it. You know that I'm in fandom lore.
Yeah.
And this is something that we've never talked about even just casually as friends. Were you in fandoms? Because you said that you were in like Mamrie, or you used to watch like Mamrie and Grace and stuff in YouTube.
Yeah.
And also we said that we want to go to the Dan and Phil show. I never watched them, but I know that you did. So tell me about your fandom experiences, please.
So the two like main fandoms I was in was obviously Dan and Phil. I was deep into Dan and Phil.
What year would that have been? Like peak YouTube?
Like 2016 maybe. Yeah, I would like. So I don't know if you know this lore. Every November they would release a video called what would it be called?
I just know they would draw fucking
yeah, that would be. It would be like the amazing I don't know what it was called. I can't remember. Oh my god, fake fan. Anyway, and they would draw cat whiskers on, and they'd have a collaborative video, the two of them together on each other's channel, and they'd
Are they gay?
They are together. Yeah,
they're dating?
they came out. Did you not see?
What?
I was so
Wait, 'cause people
happy.
ship them. Are they together?
They're together. Like, they actually came out and they were like, we've been together
They're
this whole
dating-
time. They have a house together. Like basically, I don't know if they're married. I think they are like together.
Is that true?
Yes, you can Google
I
it.
did not know that.
They came out and I was over the moon because when I
Crazy
was
because people said that they were together the entire time.
and they never came out.
They clocked their teeth
for whatever
early.
reason because but they never came out. And then they came out like genuinely it was recently, like 2 years ago.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But I was a huge Dan and Phil fan. I went to their tour in Brighton when I was 15 maybe.
Did you draw cat ears or cat
Well,
whiskers?
worse than that. They had a gaming channel, which I was an avid fan of, and they had a Sims, and their Sim was called Dill, because Dan and Phil together, and I dressed as Dill, because it was Halloween. And I had, like, a little Sims. So, like, I was deep. He wore slippers, I bought them. Anyway. I was a huge Dan and Phil girl. And before that, I was a Larry Stylinson.
Oh my god. Okay, I have heard
Believer.
about this because I know of Gaylor, which
Yeah.
is this. So to introduce it, it's this phenomenon of fandoms shipping people, and I know it because Mama is still deep in K-pop.
Yes.
And this is a huge phenomenon still in K-pop where, because I love Wanbin from Rise, and I also love Anton from Rise, different member, and the ship name is Wonton, I think, like a wonton. Isn't that right? Like a
That's
it's
great.
Like a food,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm deep in the lore still. But anyways, like in K-pop fandoms, there's like this shipping, and it always is same-sex shipping.
I don't know what it is about a same-sex, like,
People love it.
people go crazy for it,
love
especially,
it.
like, young.
Mentally ill.
Yeah. It was just so, like, when I was a child, the way I believed Larry Stylinson was
So
real.
wait, before the One Direction one, with Dan and Phil, first of all, gagged at the fact that they came
yeah,
out.
Dan and Phil's was real. And I think people knew that to a degree because they lived with each other and they did everything together.
Were they together the entire time?
Yeah.
That's really beautiful.
Isn't
and they're still
it?
together?
Yeah.
Divas.
And they're so happy with each other. It's honestly the biggest
Is this
success.
actually true?
I'm still quite clocked into Dan
Okay.
and Phil. It's true.
Also, I want me and Neave to go to their show in January, but I have heard that there's a section where they do ukulele jokes, so I'm a little bit nervous to go.
I'll go like, guys, don't.
So wait, okay, okay, I'm just gonna take your word on that.
Yeah, it's very cute. But obviously, Louis and Harry are not together.
Of One Direction.
Of One Direction are not together. I do believe that they were.
So Louis and Harry, and it was Larry
Yeah.
Stylingson. Mm-hmm. And it was also, I'm not dumb to this, I was on Stan Twitter with Selena Gomez, but my peers would have been in One Direction and they were in Larry. And also, God bless her, Alexandra, my friend who passed away.
She's a real one.
Huge One Direction fan. She was a big believer as well. And I know that it was a phenomenon. And it was from when they were in One Direction, right? So they would have been like 16.
Well, Harry was 16 when One Direction formed, and Louis was 18. So they had a bit of an age gap. And Louis was actually the legal guardian of the group because he was the only one to be 18.
Okay.
So he really took Harry under his wing when they first started getting to know each other.
I'm not laughing. I'm here for the lore. Tell me the truth.
And so everyone would speculate that they started dating when Harry was a bit older because the way they were connected was crazy. Like they would hang out every single day with each other. They used to do video diaries. Very old school YouTube, actually.
I remember, would they be on the stairs?
On the stairs.
Don't
and
you worry,
like,
I'd watch
Louis
some
and
money.
Harry would be like flirting hardcore. And it got very out of control. I was so
Were you a believer?
deeply in,
Were you a believer?
like, more than you could ever know. So my phone case as a child is bad. There was a tweet from Louis when, and if any Larry girls know, it was that the management told them they had to break up. And there was a day, it was in September. I think it was September the 28th. And if that's correct, I'm going to kill myself. And Louis tweeted to Harry, always in my heart, H, love Louis.
I'm looking this up. So it was always
in my heart, H, love Louis. And that was my phone case for a year and a half.
Always in my heart, H.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got the tweet.
What day is it? If it's September the 28th.
You're wrong.
Oh, thank God.
2nd of October.
Thank God.
I'm fucking glad because that would have been crazy.
The 28th.
So wait, this was something that was like
This was a huge moment.
1.4 million likes back then on Twitter.
I know. This was a huge moment because everyone said this is proof because after that moment, they never hung out again. And they were never photographed together on their own. And then also there was a show. Basically, 28 was a huge number in the fandom because 28 was like supposed to be their number. And there was a show, I think something to do with 28, and they hugged. And then on my birthday, I had that picture printed on my cake. So when I tell you I was in this fandom,
Donna needs to be in prison.
no, I wish someone had been like, grow up. But I loved it.
That's crazy. I remember that people were so hardcore for it. I remember that because there were so many edits. And it's funny because I look back on it as an adult now.
It's so silly.
And I'm like, I wonder how much management fed into it. Because I believe that management feeds into it in current day with K-pop. Because they get those little boys to act like a little bit fruity.
Yeah.
And they like are on strict, like you're not allowed to have a girlfriend. Like they want people to believe that these boys are a little bit fruity. And trust me, the boys feed into it.
But the whole thing was with Larry was that the management was so against them being together and that they tried to like prevent everything.
The truth.
So like when Louis had a child, this I didn't believe, okay? Because I was grown and I wasn't stupid. But there was a huge rumor that Louis's baby was fake. And that it was crazy. And that they hired a woman to pretend to be pregnant. And then they had like a fake, like the reborn dolls.
Not the reborn.
And then I was like, okay, right, this is getting ridiculous.
You went nip it in the bud, guys.
Yeah, I was like, come on now. We're all over the age of 18 now because it's been years. Let's come on.
I wonder what that was like though for them being
Probably awful.
16 to like 20 because they also had probably very limited access to their social medias. God, that must have been so fucking. Can you imagine being that age and like the entire internet is like, oh,
you're gay.
You're a gay boy, and like, but also it probably created so much divide within the group as well.
Complete. Because also they became the most popular because of this whole rumor. So the other three members were like, I'll kiss my band members if I have to.
But this is a phenomenon within the Taylor Swift fandom as well, and I do know this, and it's called Gaylor.
Yeah, I'm also quite frequent to Gaylor.
Are you a Gaylor?
No, I don't think she is gay, but like
That is the okay. If there are any Gaylors watching right now, just know I love you and you are so valid.
That's a straight woman.
But she is the straightest woman I have ever
Just
seen
her
in my
vibes
entire
alone.
life.
That's a straight woman.
Like, it is crazy to me that Gaylor comes up in general because I don't know if it's just because we're so overexposed to the queers, but that is a straight woman.
Yeah. Like, through and through, that is a straight woman.
Like, I've never done that in my entire life, but like, straight woman, like, she is so straight to me. And when people are like, oh my God, she held two fingers up, that's about lesbian sex, I'm like,
She went.
I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like, but people, like, the Gaylor subreddit is one of the
I do believe she's
biggest
maybe
in
had
the
sex
world.
with one woman.
Because people say Carly,
Cara Delevingne.
or is it not Carly Cross?
Carly, that's the one. Yeah, sorry. And they had a
Please.
crazy,
I'm
like,
fucked up.
turbulent friendship.
So wait, Gaylor,
Taylor
Swift.
Swift is so funny.
I wonder if I can. I don't know why this is not coming up on the screen. But anyways, so we're currently on the Gaylor Swift subreddit. 48,000 members. Sorry, there's currently 31 people online right now. It's the top 3% of all Reddit. And I'm just like quickly scrolling through it. I don't know why it's not showing up on the screen. God bless. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Yeah. Don't really know why it's not doing that. But whatever. Just believe us. We're scrolling through it. The Karma is a Cat is telling us that she is, oh my God, also.
Is that
Do you remember the story?
from
LA.
LA? Yeah.
I can't tell a lot about the story, but like I'll tell a little bit just because I love y'all. I'll tell a little bit, but I'm not gonna tell.
I wish it was on the screen.
I'm not gonna tell the full story.
Yeah. Go on then.
So when I was in LA and you had left, I wish you were there. It was so fucking funny.
It was so good.
When Neave left, I was in LA for another 10 days, and I was going clubbing all the time. Not like hardcore, not even barely getting drunk, but like just to like go out because I was like working all day and whatever. I ended up getting introduced to someone who is a Taylor Swift dancer, and I'll not disclose who, but
I got crazy.
they get down. They get down. I was texting Neave, and I know it was quite shocking because we both went to the Eras tour, and I was like, Neave, blank dancer from the Eras tour gets like, I have never seen someone get crazier on a night out. Like,
I got a voice. I was clocking into work and got a voice note from you both.
and it was one of the craziest, like, and I like watched the Taylor Swift like Eras tour live streams, and sorry, he's on the screen. dancing right now.
I'm watching him over and over again.
I like watched the Taylor Swift live streams. Like, I was a big fan of all the cast and stuff. Meeting him in person was crazy because, and obviously I was like, listen, we're very similar age, like go out and have a fun night and stuff. But I was so parasocial that I was like, oh my God, like seeing what he did on that night, I'm like, damn. Anyways, we'll stop the story there before I say anything worse.
Anyway, back to
scrolling on Gaylor, they have
what did she mean by
they have screenshots of Taylor Swift dancing in between women and saying, what does she mean by this? They have Taylor Swift's dresses being the colors of the lesbian flag, being, what does she mean by this? And my thing isn't loading, which is probably for the best. But there are people that like so believe that she is gay.
Yeah.
And their ultimate
just
thing
not
is that
gay to me.
she's hiding it. She's hiding it because the media wouldn't understand.
But like,
The media would understand. It's Taylor Swift.
it's 2020, almost 5.
But I seriously do believe that she is the straightest woman of all time.
I agree completely. And like the way she acts, the things she does and says, and her, like everything about her screams straight to me.
And if anyone is watching this that is a Gaylor, please in detail below.
Give
Let
me
us
the
know.
information because I could be turned easily.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Let us know down below. We will read it out on the next one and review it. So moving on from Gaylor, focusing on the Dan and Phil, because the Larry thing is like a complete
It's
separate
insane,
thing.
yeah.
So ending this episode on the Dan and Phil, how do you think if they are in a relationship? I'm just gonna believe you here.
Can you Google it? Because I'm sick of it.
How do you think that was for them with everyone speculating? Do you think they were in a relationship when people were speculating?
Yes,
Wow.
if my
Hey,
facts
boys.
are correct, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but they were in a relationship the entire time. And they obviously didn't
Happy
come
anniversary. That's a long time.
very long time, and they own a house together, which is beautiful.
Damn.
And I don't think they came out because they weren't comfortable in sharing that relationship. I think because the way people shipped them was so intense and like so over the top.
And it would be like 11-year-olds doing this, by the way. Like,
11-year-olds being
crazy.
like
writing
so,
fan fiction,
yeah, and
which
like
both of us have
hyperse-
done.
My fan fiction was okay.
I haven't written it for Dan and Phil,
Okay, I have,
but
but it was always lovely. Like it was never anything weird. It was always so
my fan
cute.
fiction I wrote was never weird either. But it was just like lame. I'm like,
No,
get a
and it was
job.
actually really badly written. So.
Also, I thought I was like a writer. Like I thought I was a writer. Like I thought I was. Yeah.
I thought it was gonna blow up and I was gonna get like thousands of views.
I was like, oh my god, this is. Oh my god, wait. Last thing before we end this, fuck Dan and Phil.
Okay.
The Harry Styles fan fiction that got made into a movie.
Oh my god. After weird as fuck.
Like weird.
Yeah. Weird as fuck. Well, you
I don't know
know,
why I'm saying
Twilight.
Stop saying Dion.
Twilight was the person that wrote 50 Shades of Grey. That's Twilight fan fiction. Did you know that?
My mom went to 50 Shades of Grey with her friend at the time in the cinema, and I remember she came back and she was like, everyone in the theater was like making
Wanking.
weird noises, wanking.
Did you not see when the people that
Something
worked in
with
cinemas? Yeah, people that worked in cinemas said
Women
that
were wanking.
that can happen. I know it's crazy. There was like vibrators left and chairs and shit.
Us at the Wicked.
We get an official statement from the Wicked movie.
Really?
Yeah, like there was people would say the things they had to clear up after 50 Shades of Grey premiered was crazy.
Have you ever watched it?
Of course I have, all of them. And I've read the books. Horrid, hated it.
Well, I've watched the movies, but I watched them on like fake website, like whatever. And I've like skipped to the intimate scenes because I was like, what are people talking? I was like, I don't care
wanna
about the
see the
storyline.
hardcore porn, yeah.
Because Jamie Dornan's sexy. Love Jamie Dornan. And I was like, let me just see like what the like hype
Well, that's
was.
Twilight fanfiction.
The movie was?
It was written as Twilight fanfiction originally and then got turned into 50 Shades of Grey.
I didn't know that.
Well,
But
because
even,
it was so mommin.
but I went to the intimate scenes and it was like him be like, I'm like,
I remember
like,
thinking it was the kinkiest thing in the whole world because obviously I wasn't allowed to watch it and I watched it and I was like, oh.
I watched it and was like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know if these people were like fucking wetting themselves in the cinema because it was like in a cinema
that
or
is
something.
true.
Yeah, literally. But I'm like, I was not impressed when I watched it.
No, neither was I.
And there's multiple.
There's
Three?
three?
Damn. But sorry, back to my
I don't know
thing.
if that's true.
What I find really crazy is that someone wrote fan fiction about Harry Styles.
Yeah.
And it's very, I haven't watched it or read it,
Bad.
but it's
It's
creepy
bad,
or something,
yeah.
right? And it was made into a mainstream media movie. And that's really fucking creepy.
And I don't
After
know.
is it called or is
It's
it called
called After.
Oh, After.
And then it's After We Collided as the second.
Could you imagine being like a teenager, young adult, and someone writing a fan fiction of you and it being creepy in itself, but then it being turned into a mainstream movie?
It's just
And
not.
you're not making any coin from it?
No, like you just
I'd be
have to
fuming.
accept that these people are sexualizing you from the get-go and it's fine. It's crazy, it's ridiculous, and also it's not a good film, or it's not. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I've read the fan fiction. It's not good either.
Of the Harry Styles.
Yeah, I actually read it before it got turned into a film.
You said I was there first.
Guys,
You're
I
like
was
Alphabet
there.
with the crying. Why wasn't I at the premiere? Okay, our final thing before we end, which is something that we said we were gonna do, but we have not prepped for it. So I guess we should just say people. Smash your pass.
Love.
So we haven't prepared with photos. So I guess we should just say people. And I want everyone in the comments to like list one. We'll do however we do. Just do like 1, 2, 3 and say smash pass. Play along with us, okay? You do one, then I do one, then you do one. This will be our final little game.
Okay.
Do I have to just do woman then, I guess? 'Cause
No, I'll smash men or pass them. Can I do women for you too?
No.
Okay,
I'll
then
I'll
do-
just do woman for
okay,
you.
fine.
Okay. So everyone, play along at home. This is our final little topic. Do like one and then however many we do.
Okay.
And say smash or pass. So I'll go, then you go.
Okay.
Victoria Justice.
Smash.
Okay.
Because as annoying as she was in Victorious, that was actually Ariana Grande. Thank you
But it
very
was
much.
about Victoria Justice.
And
Please, if you knew your lawyer.
I thought her outfits was, and I did fancy her when she was arguing with Jade. So
Jade was.
yeah, Jade is an immediate smash.
But also, it makes me so sad because Victoria Justice is so talented, but damn, she got done so
She got done
bad in
so.
that
I
media
do feel
storm.
bad for her, and I think we all.
I think we all feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
Give me one.
Okay. Dan is not on fire.
Pass.
Really?
No, not for me.
Not the fringe.
Fringe.
He's got a swoop.
No, he's not for me.
Okay.
Ariana Grande. No.
Pass. And that's all I'll say.
Okay, give me one.
Also, I'd pass all the time. I don't fancy her. Tyler Oakley.
No.
Ever.
Mamrie Hart.
Smash.
I'm gonna say smash on that one too.
I've always fancied her, I think.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, her
she was
personality
gorgeous.
in itself is amazing, but then her face.
Yeah. Alright.
Gorgeous. I'm trying to think of someone you'd smash. You're very picky, I think.
Well, I don't know what my type is. What would you say your type is?
Well, my type hasn't actually
Being consistent.
been in this smash or pass, but I like masculine women.
Mm.
Like masculine presenting women. But clearly that's not true because I've just smashed Victoria Justice and Mamrie Hart.
Well, I think, but
If
I
you're
think
funny, I'll
no, I
like
think
you.
both of our tastes cannot really be defined though. I think both of us can be quite messy when it comes to like people that we find attractive.
I agree.
I think I'm a little bit
actually.
more messy than you, but I think you're still quite broad.
Yeah, I'd say so. Okay, let me give you one right now. Elliot, Grace Helbig's husband.
He was funny though. I find him funny. See, it depends on like. I would smash on the basis that I find him funny.
Yeah,
I find him funny. Like, there's people that I'm willing to like if I like their personality as well.
that's what I'm saying. If
Hannah
you
Hart.
can. Smash.
Really?
I loved Hannah Hart.
Hannah Hart is
You know what? Yeah, no, I'd smash.
okay. All
That's-
right, give me
yeah.
another one.
God, you're doing so quickly. Oh my god, I need to be so quick with this. I'm gonna say DefNoodles.
DefNoodles, pass. And you're gonna say smash.
What if we took away the personality?
Pass.
Wow. Okay.
You go.
Smash.
I'm gonna say for you, we'll do two more each. Okay, one of my other ones is gonna be. I want to do something really random. Katy Perry.
Pass.
Really? I know she's not masculine, but like, it's a gorgeous woman.
Yeah, she's just very meh to me.
Whatever. Okay, you have two left.
Okay, let's say. God, I wish I could read your comments on who you want me to ask him. So I know you'd have so many. I'd love to do one of your K-pop people, but
Well, if they're on this wall, then I'll fucking smash.
I was gonna say I don't know any of their names, and I know you'd smash them all. This one you love.
Felix. That's a smash. That's a smash. That's a smash.
Yeah, that's the one in your phone case.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Love.
There we go.
That's a smash.
I got one smash from you.
Okay, my last one for you. Miley Cyrus during Bangers era.
Smash.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Because she was kind of giving mask.
I love a bad girl.
Yeah, she
she
was
was
quite naughty.
so-
She was quite naughty.
Yeah.
All right, give me one more and then we're done.
Niall Horan from One Direction.
No.
What about Zayn from
No.
One Direction?
Oh, yes. 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 Zayn lookalike competition.
yeah.
Where
When
in my
the
pussy?
winner, smash. Did you see him?
I did see. Why was
Yeah.
there like a middle person? I want to say non-binary person.
Yes.
In the middle.
'Cause
I
they-
have not read that that's what that was, but I'm
Because
pretty
they
sure
look
someone
like
said that.
Zayn in their head.
I'm pretty sure that was a non-binary person. So I'm gonna say, why was there a non-binary person in the running? Because they literally did not look like anything like Zayn.
They had dark hair and a lot of dreams.
Honestly, I wrote this online. JFK lookalike
I
competition.
saw, and your mum
my
went. What did your mum
pussy.
say?
My mom was really upset. She was really disappointed in me.
I think he's so ugly.
JFK.
Yeah.
Let me
Who
tell
are
you
your-
something.
can I hear your
That I
top-
would give him a different kind of head. Let me tell you something. He'll lose his head in another way.
And guys,
You think his head got blown last?
He's still going. Damn.
Anyways, last thing I'll say on JFK.
Oh, cool. There's more.
Me and my mom stayed at the Shelburne Hotel in Dublin, which is one of the like fanciest hotels. So I had been doing YouTube for a couple years, and I had like saved up a bunch of money, but it was during COVID, so I wasn't able to like treat. The first thing I wanted to do was like treat my mom to something.
Yeah, of course.
But we couldn't fucking travel anywhere. So the first time lockdown opened, I brought my mum to the Shelburne Hotel in Dublin, which is like, it's like thousands down, like like thousands down. And we went there and we stayed in like the top presidential suite. And baby, it was right next door to the JFK suite, which was where he stayed when he would do Dublin things. I didn't know who JFK was before this. I go in a rabbit hole down, and I got so obsessed with him. And for some reason, I want that man.
What do you? He's just a white man.
He is charisma.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something about him I find sexy. And you know what? Don't be a hater, because a lot of people responded to my tweet and they understood what I was saying.
Yeah, it's very like straight girl coded of you to find him hot. I feel the straights love him.
Well, I mean, what's the equivalent for a leslie?
To JFK.
Yeah.
I think there is.
Wait, there has to be like Amelia Earhart.
I
Do you
promise
would you get deal with Amelia Earhart?
Definitely not.
Why not?
She's going down on her own. That plane.
Baby. All right, we need to end this. We need to end this. Thank you guys so much for watching the Chronically Online. How many episodes? I don't know. We're on episode 3.
3 together.
We're on 3, but I don't know how many. Wait, it was 9, including yours. Then we did another one, 10. And then this is
the 12th.
12th episode of Chronically Online podcast. Neave's Instagram is
Neave Iona. Sorry, forgot.
okay. From the top, Neave's Instagram is
Neave Iona.
Neave's TikTok.
Neve Barnard.
Neave's crushed Instagram.
Crush.btn.
Everything will be linked down below. If you are watching to this stage, comment on Neave's profile a tomato emoji. I would love your Instagram to start getting spammed by that. That'd be so funny. Spam crush with tomato. All right. I will see you all in the next one. I hope you're all doing very, very, very well. Tour tickets are down below. London and Dublin is coming very soon. Neave will be at London. Please come and bombard her. And we'll see you all very soon. And goodbye.